Before Ari Lennox would drop her debut album, Shea Butter Baby, featuring hit singles like Whipped Cream and 40 Shades of Choke.
I like a little bit of like, yeah, hell yeah, or heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Chris, okay, cool.
Ari Lennox, yeah, I mean, you can do what you want to do at this point.
I love a little choke. It's a beautiful thing. Like, as long as you trust the person, as long as he's not someone you just met.
Right.
Before Ari Lennox would team up with Crown Royal to record a cover of Sly and the Family Stone's If You Want Me to Stay, in support of independent bars facing the threat of closure during the COVID crisis. Before Ari Lennox would have 1.3 million followers on Instagram, over 481K followers on Twitter, and almost 400K subscribers on YouTube at the time of this recording. When fans and critics talk about the music of artist Ari Lennox, they often use words like classic or timeless to describe her R&B sound. But despite the praise they're eager to heap on her now, it was a long road to success for Ms. Lennox.
Was on like a all soul like spree. I don't know. I love like 70s, 60s music. You know. So.
You think
After years of grinding on the independent scene by uploading her music online and working a series of different odd jobs, this incredibly talented 29-year-old became the first female to sign to J. Cole's Dreamville label back in 2015.
First lady signed to Dreamville is definitely a blessing. It feels surreal and it feels like I have a lot to live up to.
Even after that, it took Ari a few years to continue developing her music and sound before she was ready to drop her debut album, Shea Butter Baby, which after the release, J. Cole then jumped onto Twitter to announce Ari as the future of the music scene. Hey, I've never been one to disagree with J. Cole. In fact, after listening to some of Ari's music, I know exactly what he's talking about, and while I'm not here to speak on her future, Ari's past is every bit just as interesting. What's up guys, it's your girl Azalea Hart, back at it again with a brand new video, this time taking a look at the come up of Ari Lennox, prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. You guys have been blowing up our social media asking for this video, so much so that it's making me think that Ms. Lennox may have passed Ms. Grande as the most popular Ari in town. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Follow us on Instagram at Before They Were Famous while you're at it, and feel free to follow me as well at Azalea Zoe. All right, let's get into this story.
Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
Ari Lennox was born Courtney Sinead Salter on March 26, 1991 in Northern Virginia. She spent her formative years growing up in the DMV area, otherwise known as Washington, D.C. Ari never considered herself a child prodigy. A future in music was never a guarantee, but Ari's grandmother was one of the first people to recognize her talent. At only 3 years old, she told her granddaughter that she had the voice of an angel and encouraged her to sing and perform at functions like church gatherings when she was still quite young. Despite the encouragement she felt from her family, Ari still grew up feeling like an underdog. She told NPR, "I always wanted a solo at the church and they didn't ever give it to me. But eventually they did and I froze. But then I killed it. I just feel like that kind of just followed me all throughout my life. I've always kind of been slept on a bit." One day while watching performances at the Apollo with her other grandmother and seeing some very young girls sing on stage, Ari knew in that moment that music would be her future. Her first public appearance was at her school, Poplar Tree Elementary, and Ari remembers it as something of a learning experience.
So the first place I performed music was at a talent show at Poplar Tree Elementary, and I was singing Take a Look at Me Now by Mariah Carey. And my eyes were closed the whole time, but when I opened them, there was this lady in the front with like her hands over her ears. And I realized, okay, I have a lot of work to do, but I'm gonna keep going.
In terms of her school career, Ari describes herself as a high school misfit who knew from early on that she wasn't going to head down the typical college path. Instead, inspired by a whole litany of different artists including Whitney Houston, John Legend, Erykah Badu, and even acts like Coldplay and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, this mix of cross-genre influences would help shape her sound and form her into a unique artist once Ari decided to take music seriously at the age of 18.
I have so many inspirations like A-Marie, Tidra Moses, Mary J. Blige, like they're like SWV and Vogue. There's Lauryn Hill.
She settled on calling herself Ari Lennox after the character of Mary Lennox in the film A Secret Garden. Speaking with GQ, she told them, "Mary was a spicy thing. I always wanted that life, just a nice garden and a sexy tall guy. As Ari set out on her new path, she won a few competitions on the popular BT music video countdown show 106 & Park, and she also auditioned for American Idol, but didn't make the cut. There was even a point when she auditioned for Diddy's band in 2009, but that didn't work out either. So Ari decided to turn to alternate means to get her career off the ground: YouTube. She began uploading her music to the platform around 2009. This was right after she graduated high school and everyone around her was going off to college except for her. She felt the pressure to do something with her life, so she decided that something should be YouTube. She uploaded a whole bunch of covers, but nothing really took off until her versions of Thinking About You and Beyonce's Drunk in Love. Now, even though these covers were getting her noticed, they could only take her so far, so Ari decided to make another change. She abandoned YouTube and began uploading original content to SoundCloud. Some of her fans resisted the change, but this decision would ultimately pay off handsomely for Ari in the end, just not at first. In fact, well into her 20s, Ari was still working a series of odd jobs, moving around constantly. At this time in her life, she was feeling extremely aimless as she bounced around from Papa John's to Pizza Hut to Planet Fitness, Whole Foods, and the worst of them all, Wendy's. She told GQ, "The worst was Wendy's. I remember cleaning the soda fountain and there was a whole bunch of roaches in there. That was terrifying." Ari never even saw a $1,000 paycheck in her entire life until she eventually wound up driving for Uber from the age of 24 to 26. But through it all, Ari kept plugging away at her music. Within 2 years of that, she would be featured on Omen's track, Sweat It Out.
It's just a long story. I mean, Omen, he's signed to Dreamville, and he basically reached out for a collab. And I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think Cole would ever care, because I always feel like, I don't know, celebrities, like I always felt like they just never really cared.
Between that and her SoundCloud uploads, her music was circulating around J. Cole and the Dreamville team. They thought Ari might bring something special to the upcoming sessions that they had turned the books with Rihanna. Turns out they were right. Impressed by her talent and her ability to write melodies on the spot, J. Cole and his team would eventually sign Ari to their Dreamville record label in December of 2015. After that, she popped up in J. Cole's song Change and then released her debut EP titled Foe. By July of 2018, she was releasing Whipped Cream, a track that would go on to become the first single off her album Shea Butter Baby when it dropped in May of the following year. Her debut record would go on to peak at the #7 spot on Billboard's US R&B charts. Since then, Ari has also gone on to be listed on BET's Future 40 list, which takes a look at some of the most inspiring and innovative individuals who are redefining what it means to be unapologetically young, gifted, and black. As for where Ari Lennox goes from here, well, that's a story for another time. After all, this is before they were famous. What did you guys think about Ari's story? Pretty interesting stuff, right? Let me know what you guys think about her tracks in the comment down below. Follow us on Instagram at Before They Were Famous and at Azalea Zoe while you're at it. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Now we drop a new video each and every day, so here's a recent drop that you might enjoy. We handpicked that one for you because if you like this video, you'll probably like that. We also got playlists like over here, so click on that if you want to see a whole list of a bunch of videos we've dropped in the past. And if you're new to the Fame Gang, be sure to subscribe and turn on them post notifications. And I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!